There we go. There we go. It resets every week. Why? Why?
We totally need the wall. I mean, what is going on? Like, that's crazy.
Well, I just don't like looking at that blue. It's too bright.
Yeah, it's too much. I agree.
It's like, and that's the default. And it was really stinks is that this restream thing has been a fiasco for me because it's weird the way you set up the stream. You actually tell it wants to stream it to any of your social media. So I turn that off and then I say, okay, broadcast to YouTube. And then I just hope it shows up on my channel. And then it doesn't. And then I'm like, well, maybe when I hit live, it'll show up on my channel. But that's not good because there's all sorts of settings and tags and things you have to put in before the video. And so, yeah. Now it's cheaper than StreamYard, but at least StreamYard, I don't have to deal with any of this bull crap. I don't know what's going on, man. I was working, I worked a little bit later than I expected to today, so we're getting off to we're starting on pretty much on time, pretty close to on time, a few minutes late, but I had to make some sort of thumbnail up there real quick and call the title of the video. And so I just was like, Zod Rider Exposed Steps Podcast. So we're gonna expose Zod Rider today for the shill that he is.
Okay.
Zod's like, I don't give a crap. Oh, how you doing, Zod?
Good. Just, I'm keeping busy. I'm about 50% done editing my movie, so I'm super excited. I'm editing little by little every day, and it's gonna be done before I know it, and I'm so excited for everybody to see it.
Gamer Fridge is here. Good to see you. Godly, the Lord of Mortal Kombat is here, and Overthink Gaming.
Steelbook fans in the house. Yes, the One Punch Dance Steelbook that I dream of at night. I cannot wait.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, we're actually getting people in here. I know the stream like literally just showed up. Hello, wonderful gamers. Why are you exposing my friend Zod Rider? It's because I literally just like took a thumbnail I used a couple weeks ago and threw some crap on it and started the stream. Literally, there was zero planning because I got stuck out of town until I got home right before the stream, and then my daughter when I picked up from the mall, and
I'm surprised you didn't use a copy of the Hyperstone Heist artwork and showcase that since you got a spiffy new copy.
Well, check this out, okay? I got Hyperstone Heist for the Sega Genesis. Look how clean it is. It's clean like a mother. Yeah, to die for. You don't see how I'm gonna go up to die for. It's the cleanest copy ever because you know why? Because the original shell and label is right here. I took the game out. It's a real cartridge, real Konami, and and I got a Sega, it says Sega on it. And the real one says Konami, but I put it in this shell here. And then I got a label, so it's nice and clean. And I just wanted a copy of a Ninja Turtle game. And since I just got the Sega Genesis, I was like, okay, I got to get this because I've lost my original NES Turtles games, and I don't have Turtles in Time on the Super Nintendo physical copy. Now, I do have the physical copy of the Turtles collection, but I was just like, I want a real one. I want a real cart. And then it was like, oh, I'll get Hyperstone Heist. And I look it up and the thing's like $150 for like a mid condition with everything. And I'm like, I'm not paying no $150. So I bought this one for $35. And then I put it in a new shell with a new label. And it plays. I already played it earlier and it plays good. And I will tell you, nothing plays like real hardware. So I will be getting... After I get a few games that I like really want just to have,
you're gonna get that shooter for sure.
Oh, Earthian?
Yeah, Genesis. I
Yeah, I'm gonna get that one for sure, but I am gonna get an EverDrive. I
yeah.
want the Pro though because I want the CD-ROM capability. It's like for $200 I can get one that does the CD-ROM capability without having a CD-ROM, or I could spend $100 and I get no CD-ROM. And I'm like, I'm just gonna spend the money and get the whole experience because then I could just keep that. I never have to buy anything ever again. You know what I mean? And I'll just get like 10 to 20 Genesis games that were I'm partial to. You know what I mean? Like real ones just to have a collection because I there's some games that I'm partial to that I'd really like to have either because I like Hyperstone Heist, I rented it, and I was a really big deal. I rented it quite a few times, and then there's games that I had, and I want those the ones that are good at least. Like I don't need James Pond.
Well,
I had
the EverDrive is great
Pond
because
again.
you can put anything you want on it. So the
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna
EverDrive,
do. It's
you're good to go.
I probably will end up
You
just
could
playing
like
off the
you could
EverDrive, but
like
I
yeah, you could like curate your collection. You could put the games that you actually play on the EverDrive,
I will.
and then you're
And
good to
then the
go.
games I actually enjoy, like want in my collection, I'll just store. Yeah, yeah. But for now, until I buy the EverDrive, I'm gonna play Hyperstone Heist on this, and I don't have to look at the ugly cart. So whatever. Um, they put they're cheaper, more faded. You could tell they're notorious for fading like that, and then, like you could tell, like that's just pretty normal. The rest of the cartridge isn't really beat up or anything. It's obviously it was a rental once upon a time. You get any new games?
I'm surprised you didn't just put the label, the new label over it. You just,
Well, I was talking to Tech Buzz, who told me that that is a bad idea. Basically, he's like, it's better to have the beat up label, the real thing. And I don't know. So I was like, fine, I'll keep the old cartridge. I'll just put it in a little Ziploc bag and I'll store it in case after I die, my kids want to sell it or something. You know what I mean? I don't plan on getting rid of it at all.
yeah,
I just
yeah.
don't.
Yeah. No, I haven't gotten any new games. I haven't had any time to play any games. I haven't turned my X arcade on in about a month. I've been knee deep in video editing, so I've been really busy. I haven't had any time to play games, but it will be nice to finally get to the end of this project, and then I will be going back to play games. I'm definitely looking forward to catching up on some games that I haven't had a chance to get to yet.
James Pond. Sorry, show. Okay, there we go. James Pond was an Amiga original. It sounds like it by Electronic Arts. That game, I mean, I don't know. I think I got it like for real cheap when I was a kid, like 10, 15 bucks or something. And I took it home and I was like, it's like a fish, but James Bond. And you start playing it and you're blowing bubbles. And I'm like, this game sucks. This game, not a fan of the James Pond at all. Yeah. Genesis greater than Super NES. That's an opinion. I was a Genesis person back in the day. I appreciate Super NES a lot more than I did in the past, though. You can see I got a box Super Nintendo up there, but see, that was because my Genesis, bit the dust, and so the only thing I really have from my childhood is that Super Nintendo, and so I keep it. But I'm glad to have my Genesis back for sure. Now that I have a
Yeah, you seem a lot happier since you got your Genesis for real.
well, that was like the that just was I was just about all about it. I was Genesis. That was it for sure. But that doesn't mean I don't love the Super Nintendo. I do. No games. We need the Steelbook. James. Oh no. Oh no. James Pond is legendary. How dare you? I'm sorry. Please don't unsubscribe. Oh, we love James Pond. In fact, I'm making a whole video about the history of James Pond. I should do that as a joke. Switch 2. You know what? Switch 2 is going to be a console that comes and goes. It's right now, it's still getting started. I mainly play a lot of Switch 1 games on it, to be honest. But that's fine with me because I use the thing, you know, and I will continue to use the thing. And if something new comes out, I have access to it. And
Never played the Switch. Don't have the Switch. Never played the Switch 2 and don't have a Switch 2. Don't plan on getting one either.
well, you only play retro stuff though, right?
That's right.
You're a retro guy. That's why I said this show, this live podcast is going to be a retro show, whereas my edited videos could be retro or modern, right? Because I like to play modern games now
I
too.
play modern games every once in a while, but I'm a retro guy, period. Like most of the games I like are either retro or retro inspired.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
of course, to the fact that I am also developing my own retro game that you know about. So that's in and of
Samira's
itself.
Wonderland.
Yeah. So that in and of itself is another, aspect to it. And yeah, yeah. Which
I
I've decided I'm going to do. I've decided when I am able to finally get back to that project, I'm going to do the Super Nintendo version. Then I'm going to tackle a Sega Genesis version, and then I'm going to try to make a Neo Geo version too. I'm going to do them all.
Did you see that there's this group of people that are making Super Castlevania 4 for the Genesis? They're like altering.
Yeah.
And I was
But
like,
they're also, but somebody's been working on Symphony of the Night for the last couple of years.
for Genesis?
Yeah.
That's a demake then. That's gonna go
Yeah.
down. Yeah,
Yeah, somebody's
interesting.
been really trying to get that, and it looks pretty good, but it's been taking them forever. It's only one guy, so
I think this. I think the Castlevania 4 is gonna sound better on the Sega Genesis if they make it deep enough. Like if you know how to do that's the thing about the Sega Genesis, man. You put in some games and they don't have like you could tell if they didn't put the passion and love into the Genesis. Like the music just sounds kind of tinny. It sounds terrible. But if you got somebody that actually does the music that knows the Sega Genesis, somebody like
yeah.
Yuzo Koshiro or whoever did the music on that
Well,
Thunder Force.
or Castlevania Bloodlines.
Yeah,
I thought Castlevania Bloodlines for Sega Genesis had an incredible soundtrack. Was an incredible game.
there are some soundtracks in this that are Genesis. They even Genesis up the Turtles in Time songs they used, and they did it right. But like the best songs are the ones that aren't on the Turtles in Time, that they just have a deep bass in them, and you just have that sound that the Genesis had. And it's really important when making a Genesis game to like honor its sound chip for sure, because otherwise it ruins the whole game because it sounds like crap. And if you play a bunch of those games, you'd be like, oh God, I'd rather play the Super Nintendo. But the truth of the matter is, whoever did the game just didn't put in the time, didn't put in the effort to make it properly for Genesis. I don't know. What is your, as far as consoles goes, what's your favorite sound or sound chip or whatnot?
As I've gotten older, it's been the Genesis because I really appreciate the sound. Like the sound is really good, and they do a fantastic job. And a lot of these modern retro games that are coming out for Sega Genesis that have come out in recent years have been absolutely fantastic too. So
yeah, Earthian has like the best Genesis soundtrack. It's like so damn fucking good.
I
Oh my
mean,
God.
I've been playing the last game. Well, the last game I was really invested in that I was playing was Paprium, and I have to say, I mean, I love the soundtrack. I love the graphics. It's almost like it looks like a Neo Geo game, but somehow done for Sega Genesis, and it's just fantastic. So I just sort of, I'm actually looking forward to getting back into that too. That's one of the first games I'm going to try to complete when I get done with One Punch Dan.
I'm gonna say that I thought so. I thought that was the case, Gamer Fridge, but now that I've gotten back in the Genesis, it depends. It depends. It varies, and it depends on if the person that worked on the game knew the hardware and spent their time making it sound right on the hardware.
Yeah.
And there's things about each sound I really do really enjoy. And there's a love I get when I turn on a good Super Nintendo game, and there's a love I get when I turn on a good Genesis game. Same thing with Turbografx or Turbo CD.
You
Like,
know how you know the music for all of these systems has like standout stuff. The fact that you can actually buy soundtrack albums for a lot of these games.
yeah,
That tells you, that speaks volumes. I mean, I was in
good to see you, Glazeal.
some Japanese shop a month or two ago, and I saw a soundtrack album on vinyl for Donkey Kong Country, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Wow, really?" But
Like, yeah, I think that the Genesis sound chip was perfect for like shmups. When you turn on a shmup and you get that deep like Genesis sound, it's like,
yeah,
damn, this is so good, and you're getting so into it. And that's not just with the new release Earthian, but like I was just talking about Thunder Force, like Thunder Force, and all those renovation games. Like when you play the old Truxton, the Genesis port, like they just magnifique. But like, if we're gonna talk about like Super Nintendo, man, like honestly, I think Street Fighter sounded better on Super Nintendo. It really did. It's like Street Fighter, for example, it does sound way better on Super Nintendo than on the Genesis. And I question now. I start to question. I go, is it because they originally just focused on the Super Nintendo version, or it didn't have the love for the Genesis, or is it just that music is just not good for this type of music the Sega Genesis needs?
I think that they could have done it if they would have put the focus on it. Like you said, if they could have developed specifically for the Genesis sound chip, you would have had a phenomenal Street Fighter soundtrack for the Genesis for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like shit. I hate to say that it does on the
Well,
Genesis.
that's why you can download. That's why you can download like fan hacks of the Sega Genesis version of the Sega Genesis ROM with the 3DO music spliced in.
Oh my god, the 3DO music on Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Holy shit. That that is my favorite. Like I will listen to that in my car. When I listen to Street Fighter 2 in my car, it's the 3DO version every single time.
Oh yeah,
Over the
absolutely.
arcade. The
Absolutely. I'm with you.
3DO is the
I'm with you.
best.
3DO. I prefer the 3DO version, period. I think it was
Yeah.
one of the best. I think it was the best port of that game ever. I like it
I
even more.
wish
I'm not even shy to say that I even prefer it over the arcade, because just as
it is.
from a presentation standpoint, like
As long as you're not using the 3-button controller.
right, right. Do you know that back in the day they had an attachment that you could put onto it so that you could literally like use a Super Nintendo controller to play the 3DO version. They had an attachment. They had an officially licensed attachment that you could buy just so that you could do that, and you could use your Super Nintendo controller for the 3DO version.
Yeah. That Super Nintendo. See, I could play well on a Super Nintendo controller, even though I could play on a arcade stick, obviously. That's if you see me play, I'm playing on an arcade stick like 99% of the time. But like, if you give me a Super Nintendo controller, I can do it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And like because I played for so long on the Super Nintendo, the Street Fighter, um, and I have a poster of the Genesis Special Champions Edition. And I that whole era, all of it means something to me. I do want to get Special Champion Edition and Super Street Fighter 2 in my collection for the Genesis. I have them all on Super Nintendo already, but I'd like to have them all on the Sega Genesis as well. At least there's only two
Well,
of them.
that's why when you get your EverDrive, you're going to be swimming in all
Well, that'll be
your
on
great
it.
games.
That'll be on it. But I do want a physical.
Your curation of games that you'll have on your EverDrive.
It'll be on there, but I do want it for my collection. Like the whatever 20 games I get, like those are two I'm eyeballing. I mean, there's a few here or there that I kind of eyeball that I'm like, I definitely want this, but some people might be like, why? And one of those would be Tasmania. I want I want a real copy of Tasmania because I remember renting that the day and really, really enjoying Tasmania. Um, I don't know.
Oh, gamer fridge, I'm with you. I love my six button Sega Genesis
It is. It
controller.
is a lot
I
better.
I love that so much. It is so much fun to play with that six button.
I didn't
Authe-
so
Authentic experience. It's beautiful.
So when I got that Genesis for $27 on eBay, it didn't come with a power cord or or a controller. So I ordered the Retrobit stuff because
Mhm.
I was like I don't like used controllers because they just don't, a lot of times you don't know who used them. Like they could be beaten to hell, and all of a sudden you got somebody's sloppy seconds controller. It's one thing for a console, but like the controller is like something that, like, if I could get something that's authentic and new, I will do. And Retrobit has the authentic molds for the Sega Genesis controllers, and they're officially licensed and all that. So I love that 6-button controller. They do have the big 6-button, which is basically the 3-button controller with the 2 buttons on top. I don't know if I want to go back to that though. Those controllers were pretty damn big.
I
Those are
mean,
pretty.
it's just nice to hear you so enthusiastic about getting back into Sega Genesis with regards to all this stuff. The hardware and the idea, the notion of now collecting the games and getting back into it. It's nice. It's nice to see because it's definitely a system worth it for sure.
Yeah, sloppy second. Yeah, it is. That's what it is. It's a sloppy seconds controller. The buttons might not work properly. The D-pad may be loose. And on N64 controller, they're nightmares because they're always like these right here. The analog sticks, they're always half-assed. They're terrible. They're really loose. This is obviously a Switch Online. It's nice and tight and all that other stuff. But like, I spent, like I was talking earlier, in COVID, I was replacing analog sticks on Nintendo 64 controllers and fixing the controllers up, um, which you could do to some degree on with controllers, but sometimes you just can't. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking at getting a PC Engine or a Turbografx 16 and getting an EverDrive for that, and I'm like, that's my next project. But like, I look at it and I'm like, these controllers are all going to be heavily used. They're like 30, 40 years old, you know? So the fact that they can make new Genesis controllers, Retrobit has a license, that's phenomenal. I love that. Um, I want Sega to do more. I want Sega to do what Atari's doing and start releasing official carts and a console that has HDMI. Not that I care. I want the real hardware, like the original to that TV. But like, if they started doing like what Atari does and actually releasing new games, new Sega Genesis games, and re-releasing old games, that'd be really cool. Because people are already buying re-releases of Sega Genesis games. They're just not, Sega's just not involved in it. I just I just think it'd be the coolest. I really do. And some of these shmups that they re-released, they're so expensive now because like they only did such a limited amount, and then you find out about them later, and you're like, crap. Well, now I can't get Truxton. You know what I mean? Like they've already re-released Truxton, and a copy of Truxton, like with the box and everything, is like $100. It's not cheap.
How much is the re-release of Truxton?
Well, it's $60 for a new one, but now it's
Oh,
not.
okay.
Now it's like $300 because it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the
Yeah, because oh yeah, because it was part of that Toplin collection, right? It was
the
they
original
they,
ones.
they
Right
had
now, they just had the Slap Fight and the Grindstormer, and you can't get they're sold out, but they're not released yet. You know what I mean? So I don't even know if they have extras later that you could get, because I would love to get Grindstormer and Slap Fight, but I may be SOL already, even though it's never been released, re-released anyway. You know,
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. You what's going on?
I never understood that OTG the you get a controller and it's literally got chewed sticks. I'm like, what is it with people? Like they don't take care of their consoles, they don't take care of their controllers. You know, remember last week when you and I when we watched they were cleaning out that that janky
Oh,
console. I mean, it's
yeah.
disgusting. Like for real.
After the stream last week, we hung out for like 2 hours on the after stream. We were watching videos where they found like the worst looking Sega Genesis in history, and they were like fixing it to make
Ridiculous.
it work again. That Sega Saturn that had the roaches in it.
The roaches in it, and God knows what else was living in there. It's just like
And the guy like spends like he's like, I spent 52 days fixing this Sega Saturn. And of course it looks great and it works, but it's like, who the hell's gonna do that?
yeah, the kind of effort that he. I mean, he literally like it was almost it was better than the way that it was when it came from the factory by the time he got done with it. I mean, it's
See, now I feel like I should show people, you know. So I guess maybe I'll do that since you brought it up. You know what? I
yeah.
can find it pretty quick because I think I put it in my community post, actually. Did I or did I not? Maybe I didn't. I thought I did. Interestingly enough. There it is. Yeah, it's there. All right. We'll share it. We'll share it, people. They could see this terrible looking thing here. So let's see. Where look at this thing. Look at this thing. Like who takes this as like, let's fix this? Like to me, I'm like, that's a little bit beyond my scope of desire. But it's fascinating. Like you could sit here and watch these videos. At least I can, and like waste like 2 hours of my time just watching this guy fix this Genesis. You're like, how is he gonna do this? You know what I mean? Like it looks trashed. There's no way this is gonna work.
Yeah, but this is what this guy does for a living. So
Yeah. Let's see if I can find. Let's see if I can find the Sega Saturn. The Sega Saturn. Sega Saturn refurb. Trashed. I don't know. This is it, isn't it? Yeah. Look at this Sega Saturn. Like, let's see. Most replayed. Let's go through here and see if I can find what he did. Look at this. Look at this thing.
time for dinner.
He actually fixed this. It was like disgusting. Oh my god. And like I remember I haven't eaten for a while, so I'm good right now. But I remember we were watching this. I was like, I want to throw up. This is so gross. What? What? And he bought this. Yeah, he said that the person that sold this to him thought he was screwing him over, and he's gonna prove him wrong. And I'm like, I think he did. He got one over on you.
Barely used. Like new.
Oh. What we got here? It's like new to Damien. What's it say? Share the tab and not the browsers, and Zod will not echo. Oh, okay. Is that what Restream does? I didn't know it worked that way. It shouldn't be. It should work either way, right? Whoop, there we go. But anyway, you get the point. I don't need to show more of them like fixing that. It's disgusting.
It's gross.
It definitely, but it's really cool to like watch them do it, because then you're like, how the hell are they going to do this? I wish I had that kind of patience. I thought I was savvy fixing my Nintendo 64 controllers and taking Nintendo 64s apart and cleaning them and everything. But that's a whole nother level where you got when you're dealing with rat feces and bugs and spider webs.
Yeah, and who has that kind of time unless you're getting paid to do it?
I mean, I could see why somebody could get off on doing that. They're like, look at this, I fixed it. You know what I mean? I get it. I get it. Anyway. See, Gamer Fridge is a pro. He must use Restream. Didn't you echo in StreamYard though too?
Well, yeah, it's the same kind of thing with the StreamYard too. You got to share the. It works. I think that trick works the same.
That's weird.
But that's what why I was telling you that Restream is essentially just StreamYard with a slightly different UI. It's the same thing basically.
I don't know what all got in that console, but it looked like a lot of stuff got in that console. It was like, did they like start housing an insect farm in there? You know what I mean? Like, where did this come from that it got that bad?
Well, yeah, it was a science experiment.
I want some. Maybe he took a Saturn and just like fucked it all up and then did the video.
There's people that'll make bird feeders out of their old particle board arcades or their freaking old consoles.
KFB, the video that I'm doing, that I mentioned in my community tab, is going to be Sunday morning. I decided that I was just going to release videos on Sunday morning instead of haphazardly, because what happens is I'm like, oh, I'll release an extra video. So at this point, I'm like, nah, wait till Sunday, and the next week release another video on Sunday, and then we'll have my live stream on Friday. So that's my plan right now. That's my plan. So there you go. Can I talk what it's about? You're gonna have to watch it on Sunday, man. It's coming up. It's only like a day away, dude. There's Saturday, then Sunday morning. It's gonna be out, so you don't have to wait that much longer. I wouldn't stress about it. KFB playing his stank box. Retro Legends Arcade's here. Wait, good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Damien gave me such a hookup. I love Damien. Is Damien in the chat? He's not showing up on Restream. Or are people just talking about Damien? I don't know. I'll have to look. I'll have to look over in over here and see. I also want to make sure he's not. So what games are you playing, Zodrider?
Well, right now I'm not playing any games.
You're not at all? Not even in your free time?
No, all my free time's going towards my movie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Man, you must be you closing in on the finals?
Closing in on the finals. I'm about 50% complete with the cut. I'm getting there. It's coming along.
Oh, you're just talking about him. Okay. I'm just like, everybody keeps talking about Damien. I was like, maybe, is he blocked? I don't know. I've had mods on my channel that have blocked people. You know what I mean? And I'm just like,
mods.
His focus is on editing. Yours, Zodrider?
Yep, that's what I'm doing now.
Editing.
Now, it's the editing process. It's not everything else is done. Now it's editing it all together and making it coherent, and making it all work. That's what it is now. Yeah.
Awesome. Let's go, or let's goo. I don't know which is it. Go with long O's. Let's go. Ugh. All right. So we were talking about Genesis, and then we started talking about you. So what else are we gonna talk about? I'm so excited about a friend making a movie. Overthink Gaming is putting you over, dude.
He's definitely gonna get that steel book. It's coming. It's coming, OTG. I promise. You guys are. I'm like, this is like what I've been waiting for. I'm so excited at this point that it's gonna come out no matter what. I mean, hell, even if I die, there'll be a print of it on the computer so that somebody can, like, you know.
Are you gonna be giving autographs?
I can. I mean,
what's the most you've ever paid for an autograph?
Me, I think it was, I don't know. Usually when I would go to a convention and I would get, if I would go to like a comic convention or I'd gone to, Star Trek conventions when I was a kid and you know, got a few autographs, and it didn't really, I don't know if I ever really paid for an autograph or if it was just included with the cost of the convention. I don't know. I can't remember. What about you?
$100.
Who?
Richard Dreyfuss.
He
I'm pretty
couldn't give
sure
you he couldn't give you an autograph for free. You had to pay $100.
I was at a convention. It was Days of the Dead. I'm pretty sure I've told the Richard Dreyfuss
What a
story a million
dork.
times. I mean, that's his thing. That's he was so basically the long and short of it is his wife drags him from town to town to go to these conventions so that they can make money because he doesn't act anymore. I don't think, or very little. I paid $80 for Violet Meyer's autograph, and did you do that or did she volunteer that? I that's kind of interesting. Do cameo count as autographs? You paid $100 for a cameo? Wow. For Carrie Hoskins? Really? Wow. RGT 85 is $16.95. You just pay for RGT 85 to be in your videos, and RGT 85 doesn't care. He's just like, I'll take your money. I just put out the steelbook for my home. Okay, that's gross.
Wow.
Maybe it's not gross, depending on what you like.
That's impressive.
I just don't need to know that. You know what I mean?
A steel book. That's impressive. I mean,
Twice. Wow. Twice what? RGT or Carrie Hoskins?
Oh yeah, the free MK4 campaign. Well, at least now we're gonna get to play MK4, the arcade version.
I will tell you this: I like
Legacy Collection
of the Mortal Kombat 1 through 4 that I played. The one that I kind of like, if I go to an arcade, I enjoy the most. If I try to even play Mortal Kombat, is actually 4. And everybody says it's like the worst one, but like for me, I'm like, I don't know. I like the vibe of it better. I don't know why.
Well, it's called being, for Mortal Kombat diehards like myself and KFB, it's like saying, it's like being a completist. It's like saying, well, gee, it would be nice to actually have a 4 just so that you could have the whole set. I mean, but rubbing the eye arcade. Wow. Well, you could.
KFB, he's in and out. He does whatever he wants. The iArcade, man. I don't know. I got the Glenn's what's it, the KVM with the Viper board, right? I was trying to think of the names. And I'm like, when am I gonna have time to even deal with this? It's like a rainy day project for me. I'm glad I have it because you can't buy it anymore. This is the last run of it. I definitely will use it, but it's definitely a project. So I definitely have to like get into the cabinet, hook it up, and then not only that, but I got to put all the games on the board and all that stuff. So definitely a project. So I got to find some time for that for sure. You paid KFB $20 for him to pretend he knew me. Okay. It's not the worst. It's fun. As fuck. We were playing it last night, and Trilogy was one of my faves. See, I did have Trilogy on PlayStation. I had Trilogy on PlayStation.
I think we all did.
I had
I had Trilogy on N64 as well.
That was the expensive version. I remember when it came out, it was like $75. It was like a lot for me back then. A lot of people say, "Oh, these games are $75." Well, if you buy them at KB, yeah. I always went to like Target. I was cheap. I'm like, can you take me Target, Ma? I got lawn mowing money. I bought the Glen I arcade deck, but the KVM seemed too involved for something I don't want to change too much. I bought it because I knew I wasn't gonna get another chance to get it. I don't know if what I'm gonna use it for. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna find something to use it for sure. I just wanted to make sure that I had my abilities for the iArcade. And to be honest with you, I'll tell you something right now. The last time I hooked up my iArcade with the mystery encoder board, I couldn't get any games to transfer. I'm gonna have to try again. I don't know what's going on, but if that's the case, then it's a good thing I bought Glenn's deal.
Oh
Right?
wow.
Yeah. I do have Earthian for the
It
iArcade.
might be corrupt, and you might have to have to do it all over again.
It all takes time, man. It takes
Yeah,
time. And that's the
yeah,
problem with things. They take time, right?
yeah.
Um, you had Trilogy on Saturn and Gamecom. Oh no, I saw a video on Gamecom this week. It was like my retro life had it.
Trilogy plays great on the PC. Honestly, oh my
I never even
god.
heard of the damn Gamecom until I saw that video by my retro life, and he's talking about the Gamecom, and it was a little handheld gaming system that basically played multiple Tiger electronic handhelds in it. And it was made by Tiger Electronics, and I'm like, this looks like doo doo butter. And I was watching my retro life. He's like, my dad said this was going to be terrible, but I thought it was going to be great, but it was terrible. And well, anybody with any common sense.
The I arcade is coming back in spring of 2026, or the Lie arcade? Because we had the Lie arcade.
Yeah. It also gets to the point where, like, when you go through the iArcade side and there's just like a list of games, there's like literally like 1,000 games. Like, ding. It
Yeah,
was funny.
you've got so many games on yours that
Yeah. Gamecom had a legendary lineup, but oh my god, the games were trash. They look like they were. I never even heard of the thing, like I said, until I saw My Retro Life. If you don't know My Retro Life, Godly, go look up the YouTube channel My Retro Life, and he's got a video he put out about Gamecom, and his stuff's great because he's got all these videos that his dad took. His dad took all these videos of all of his experiences growing up, so he's got like live video of him actually enjoying the games as a kid and that kind of stuff. And yeah.
Yeah, his dad was definitely devoted to games. I'll tell you, he loved that stuff. He was very, very passionate about it. It was cool to
We
see.
we ain't gonna start that rumor because we don't like if somebody brings it up. Right now today I'm so laid back I don't really care. But like I just don't want to talk about that kind of home arcade stuff really anymore. I do like the iArcade because it's a decent product, the quality wise, and if you can put any game you want on it, you know what I mean. It's a good multi-cade, which I advise people to invest in a good multi-cade. I always will. It's good to have a good multi-cade. You know, it's
Yeah.
not a multi-cade though. Really, in my eyes, you
No,
already
it's
can
not a
figure it out.
multi-cade though.
Like the iArcade is a good multi-cade. The MVSX is a good multi-cade, right? Anything by Arcade One Up is just a bunch of crap with a bunch of random games on it. Yeah, don't run properly. He loves his dad's legacy a lot. Yep. His dad almost killed MJ. Michael Jordan or Michael Jackson. And he's putting a top 10 of his dad as we speak. Probably, man. He's a guy. I like his stuff though, man. It's entertaining. It entertains me, and it's nostalgia, and so I can't. I'm not. He's lucky to have all that stuff, right? He's gonna make his dad's top 10 Gamecom games. I don't think think his dad even played the game Com based on the video I saw. His dad's like, "What's this trash?" Dad was right. That should be the title of the video. My dad was right.
Yeah.
uh, what else we got here? It takes an hour to get the games to start with the S at this point on my iArcade. Oh, I see. Because you're yeah, you got 2 iArcades though, man. Good to see you, Rich Odello. I just saw you jump in. Man. I don't know. I didn't know that exists. That might be the worst game. I don't know. What else is a terrible game console? I was looking at EGM and I'm looking at all the rankings of all these consoles that they did, and they gave the Game Boy like terrible ratings. And I could see why, because like if you look at it and you're like, here's a Game Boy, here's a Game Gear, here's an Atari Lynx, and here's a Turbografx Express, right? Like, why on earth would anybody choose the Game Boy? That green screen with like the dot matrix printer style graphics,
Because it's cheaper.
it's cheaper. It was a fun console, don't get me wrong, but like as soon as I had a Game Gear, I didn't want to play that thing. Because I probably had more years with my Game Gear, actually.
Yeah, the Game Gear, yeah. I played
And Turbo Express was like out of my league, price
Yeah,
wise.
I never had a turbo. No, that was the other problem. See, again, price. That was the issue,
$400. People are like, oh, it was like $250. I'm like, I never saw that sucker for $250. That was like
Never.
400 for that,
400.
and 400 for the disc drive. And so I'd go to the store and I'd look at the Turbografx, and it was like, well, then you got to buy an adapter to have more than one controller, because you only get one controller. And I'm like, wait, I have to buy an adapter? So now I have to buy an adapter and another controller and $400 for the CD-ROM attachment. It was like the rich kid system.
Yeah.
It was almost as bad as a Neo Geo. I had this friend, this kid that was walking around the neighborhood. I met him walking around the neighborhood, and I was in my yard. And I was talking about video games, of course. And I go, yeah, the coolest thing is the Neo Geo. And I'd never seen a Neo Geo, right? Never seen a Neo Geo in my life. And I just know, everybody talked about the Neo Geo because it was like the system nobody could get because it was so expensive, And he goes, I have a Neo Geo. And I'm like, really? I want to go see this.
Yeah.
I want to see this Neo Geo, because I was like, oh my God. I'm like, this is gonna be a good day. I'm gonna see this Neo Geo, because this is the 90s, early 90s. And I go over to his house, and he's like, here it is. And it's a Sega Genesis with Bulls versus Lakers in it. And I'm like, you piece of shit. World's biggest letdown ever.
So he just out and out lied.
Yeah. That should have been a clue not to be friends with this kid from the get-go.
I mean,
Sega Genesis with Bulls versus
whatever.
Lakers is not a Neo Geo.
Yeah, no.
Oh, you did the huge battery pack. That would have been good, man. I remember taking that to summer camp and I was played World Series baseball all the time on my Game Gear. And I used to have Ren and Stimpy. I remember that game. And Sonic Chaos. I had Shinobi, like the original Shinobi. That was good.
Nice.
Game Boy was cheap in the introduction to Tetris. Yeah. But that first version of Mario on the Game Boy, the Mario Land, the first Mario Land, that game was it's fun, but it wasn't even like as good as like the original Mario Brothers. It just was weird. It was too small, too many dots. I don't know. It's just so basic. Mario Land. No, Mario Land 2 was a lot better.
Too many dots.
Well, yeah, it just looks like dot matrix printer. You know what I mean? It was like, it just, The Mega Man games I had fun playing on the Game Boy. You had the Turbo Express. Yeah, you were like one of the only few, but you're also actually no, you are actually a little bit older than me. So that would make sense because you were probably an adult at the point that came out. So you could have afforded it. Like like when you're like 9, 10 years old and you look at the magazine and you're like, how much is this? And you go to the ad where somebody's trying to sell something, and you're like, $400. My dad's a dentist, but I ain't getting this because that's way too expensive.
You just you as a kid, you would just automatically check out when you would see that kind of stuff because you would know it was completely out of your league, so you would just stop thinking about
You're like, Sega Genesis $89.99. There we go.
it.
that I could get.
Yeah, that's at least realistic. I mean,
Yeah. I wonder what it would cost by today's prices. You know what I mean? Like, if it, oh my God. And going back to the Switch 2, I'm glad I have the Switch 2 because all the prices are going up now. We're all like, the PlayStation went up this week. It went up $50 for the PlayStation 5. And PlayStation 5's been out 5 years and it's going up in price. It's kind of messed up if you really think about it.
Yeah, I'm glad I have no desire to get one of those either. I'm so happy.
Man, that's just like some scary stuff that these prices on stuff at $80 for games. I didn't mind getting the Mario Kart World with the console. That was fine for the $50 extra. But like when I paid $80 for Mario Party Jamboree, that was dumb.
Yeah. I don't know. I love my Xbox Series S and I love my PS4. I don't need any other
The Series S
modern
is a great cheap
consoles.
The Series S though like doubled in price. I remember I got mine for like $200 and now they're
Right.
like $430 and you're like, what? $430? I bought that like 4 years ago for $200.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful little console.
Yeah. Yeah. They're expensive. Those Turbo Expresses, they go for a lot of money. Then you got to find one that has like all the capacitors replaced and then screen replacement, and you're looking 600 plus probably for a decent one. ColecoVision was 300. I got to play ColecoVision. I had a friend when I was a teenager that had one, and he's like, "You want to see this thing called the ColecoVision?" And so I remember Frogger and Donkey Kong on the ColecoVision. I got to play those. That was my experience with the ColecoVision. I don't know, man. I don't know how somebody like John Hancock gets like every single game and every single console ever made. And I think before he was a teacher, I'm like, where did you get, like, he must have bought a lot at a good time, like before retro gaming got like really big. And then some of the stuff he needed to finish his collection, like I know he paid a good amount for that. What's that magic carpet game with the witch for Turbografx? Why can't I think of the name? Magical
Magical Chase.
Magical Chase. That game is like as much as a car. It's like ridiculous what they charge for some of these.
I actually had sold a copy of Magical Chase for Turbografx on eBay several years ago. I had a copy and I'd sold one. I got some pretty good money for it back then.
So you had a Turbografx?
No. I just had the game. I had the game.
How did you have the game?
I didn't have the console. I had a couple of games for it. I didn't have the console.
How did you have them?
I was planning to start. I was planning to get into it and planning to start collecting. Because there were reproductions of certain games coming out and stuff, and I was gonna start building a collection. And I had plans to buy a Turbografx. The Turbografx that I had was the what did I have? I had the Duo, the CD. It was the CD console, and it was black, and it could play the CDs, and I think it could play the Hue cards too. I forgot what it was called, but I ended up selling that as well. But
It-
I didn't have like the old Turbografx. I had a PC Engine. It was a CD console. It was like it,
oh, you had the okay. That's how you played Rondo of Blood then.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
PC Engine,
I
PC
still
Engine,
have Rondo of
PC
Blood
Engine. Yeah, PC Engine is good. I'm thinking about getting since I want real hardware. I'm thinking about getting the Core Graphics because it has the RGB native in it. It's just the same size as a PC Engine, and just getting EverDrive and put it in there. It's a nice small footprint.
yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah,
thinking about doing. It's cheaper too,
fantastic. Fantastic.
you
Yeah,
know.
that
But and
small
you could play the
footprint
Turbografx or the PC Engine games, and the PC Engine library is better. But you can play either or.
for sure.
I have the two minis. You can see them, like the boxes anyway. I have the PC Engine Mini and the Turbografx Mini, and I play the PC Engine Mini because it's smaller. I don't like taking that big hunkin' Turbografx. It's a mini, but it's not really a mini. It's almost full size. I'm like,
Yeah,
this is.
isn't it like about half the size of the original, or maybe a little more than half?
Let me get it. Let me get it. I hardly ever.
I always wanted one, but I just didn't. I never got around to buying one.
Well, I think they go for a couple $100 now, and you have to have the right power supply.
Yeah, I know. I see them on eBay all the time, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't buy one now. It's.
Yeah, I would consider selling this one because I really have the other one. But this one, this is get granted, this is a mini. Remember, this is a mini. Look, it's still wrapped. It's brand new. I have had this one out before briefly, so I did hook it up once. But it literally is like pristine. Um, that's the size of the mini. Look at
Yeah,
this compared to my head.
yeah. It's a pretty big size. It's like really. It's almost the size of the original. It's not too much. Not too much smaller.
They did do a good job replicating the original. Now, like my friend had an original, so I have seen the original, but they did a really good job replicating what this was.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, it does. The wrong power supplies do, and I do have one in the box. It's the correct settings for this. If I ever decide to hook this up or sell it. And the one I'm using on my PC Engine Mini right now seems to be working fine, so I'm not messing with it. I play that thing fairly regularly. So yeah, but like I said, I'm getting into real hardware. But yeah, this is pretty big. But like I said, look, you could tell I keep this nice. You know, it's my collector piece. Oh man, it's past 8 o'clock.
It's smart to use it as a collector piece, though, because it's
It's weird because it's the system that got away from me. Like we see right here, we got Firestarter said I got it for $35. I wish I would have done that. There's a couple times I had a chance to buy it for like $69, but then every time I go, I'd be like, do I want this or a Sega Genesis game? And I'd be like, that's a really good deal, $69. And I go, well, then I gotta buy another controller and then the multi-tap in order to play with more than one player. And then I'm looking at the regular price of a console, even though this thing's only $69.99. And so that's kind of what happened with me with it when I was a kid. And I wish I would have gotten it because now that I've played all those games and I yearned for it, for years I'm like, and I was so happy when they made the mini. Look, I got the manual.
nice.
Anyway, I I think now it makes more sense for me to get a PC Engine or a Core Graphics just because I don't have much space. I'm not going to collect Hue cards, and I'm going to get an EverDrive, and I'm just like, I don't know. It's tough though because then I have to wait for it to be shipped from Japan and deal with it coming through customs and all that other stuff, which is also a pain in the butt. So, in some ways, it's easier just to get the Turbografx, but you got costs associated with that, and then I got to deal with the bigger size, and then I gotta, figure that out. But at least I don't need the CD-ROM because when you get the EverDrive Pro, you get access to the
EverDrive
CD.
Pro, yes.
That is the way to go for $200, but it's more expensive than I'll probably spend on the console. But it does everything, and you get to play on real hardware, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think you could get some controllers that are made by 8-bit though that might work on the real thing. I don't know. I have to look into it. I might just have to really be picky about what controllers I end up getting.
Mm-hmm.
Magical Chase was the last game produced for the Turbografx 16. It was a Mailway exclusive, very rare. Yep. I remember that story from somebody's channel at some point. Because I've watched a lot of stuff on the Turbografx 16. Yeah, we just talked about that. Yep. Got to make sure it's correct. You can't get the official power adapter for the Turbografx Mini anymore either. And honestly, in the US, they weren't really selling it. You had to get it from Amazon Japan. But I actually bought this from Amazon Japan. I never bought this from the US. This was actually released. The US version was released in Japan like 6 to 12 months before the US got it because it was during COVID. And I had already bought the PC Engine one. And so when I saw this go back up, because I watched Mad Little Pixel and he always got everything like as fast as he could, I was like, all right, I'm going back to Amazon Japan. I'm ordering this. And Amazon Japan's not that bad. I've had one bad experience where the game showed up way, way late, which was like a Dodonpachi game I ordered. But I recently got this one here, which is the Gradius physical collection from Japan. This is not limited runs handling this in the US. It's not out in the US physically anyway, but you can see it's Japanese writing on the spine. Because I wanted this, and they already sold out of the physical copies. I wasn't going to wait around. I wanted the game, so I just went ahead and got it from Amazon Japan. I got it in about a week from when I ordered it.
That's not bad.
I actually pre-ordered it. It came out on when did it come out on? It came out on a Thursday. I think I got it on Tuesday. Yeah.
Nice.
That's how that worked. The cartridge I think is in my console right now. That's just the case. But this is I recommend getting the Gradius collection. These games are arcade classics. These are all the arcade versions. I do think I like Gradius 2 on the PC Engine CD. It's really great on that. But the arcade version's good too. It's on here. As is a bunch of the Life Force games. Salamander. If you like shmups, get this. You can get it digitally now, or you can wait for a limited run to have extras, or you can get it from Amazon Japan. But I don't like the thing I don't like about limited run is it's almost like a Kickstarter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, pretty much.
You pay for the game and then you got to wait forever. You know what I mean? And I get that Kickstarters can be useful in some instances, but none of these games need to have Kickstarters. This is a Konami game. You know what I mean? They're obviously releasing it right away in Japan. So like the point of a Kickstarter is to, fund a project. Do these really need funded? No. It's just limited run being like, let's make our money. And they're living on the interest. For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
You have your Game Gear with 15 carts. The Game Gear was so important to me. I'm thinking about getting a Game Gear again just to have it. But I want one with a screen replacement that's been recapped. I'm very picky about what I want. And then I'll maybe just get an EverDrive. I don't know.
The EverDrive is the solution, especially if you just want to play on original hardware.
You're still waiting for your limited run. Brooklyn buys all the special editions, so he's throwing down $100 at a time. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, I can't, for Earthian, for example, I was like, I have to give you $100 and I don't see the game for a year. It was like a year. It was like, this is coming in May 2026. And I'm like, no, I need it sooner than a year. A couple months, fine. You know what I mean? So I bought the standard edition for now, and then I figured I'd wait and see what they offer for the Genesis when they do that cartridge, which makes me think that I'm gonna have to wait forever for that. But I might do it for Earthian on the Sega Genesis cartridge. You know, depends on what the bonuses are if you buy anything else. Hopefully there's a bonus, but yeah, special edition, whatnot. If there's not, oh well. Oh well. I took my chances where I did. You know what I mean? That's true. I did order Tiger Heli collection for the Switch from the vault, and I got it within a week. And yeah, that one is that one's pretty cool because it's got the PC Engine and Genesis versions on it as well, and I like that. I wish that they would have put the console versions on here too. Like, this is strictly arcade games, and I wish they would have put the console, like the Gradius 3 for the Super Nintendo, the PC Engine version of Gradius 2 and Gradius 1, Life Force PC Engine, I think, or the Salamander, maybe both. I don't know, but I do like this collection. It's fun. It's hard. They're hard. The thing about anytime you get a shooter is you got to start play, like, no matter if it's like you're used to shooters, like you start a new shooter, you like have to suck for a little bit until you figure it out, and then you start getting better. Takes a lot. I think they take patience, which I didn't have when I was a kid. When am I beating Bonanza? It makes me sad you didn't see the ending yet. I played 15 hours of Bonanza, and it's been that way for a while because I've had these other things going on. I will finish it. I'm hoping to this weekend, but I don't know what I'm going to get distracted with. But I am hoping to get further in it. I don't know how much longer I would need. I'm 15 hours in. I'm at sub-level 902. I'm at the very end of it. So that's where we're at. But I've had a pause for a couple of weeks. I really have. I'm not gonna lie. I've had a pause. I haven't turned my Switch 2 on as much. I have turned it on a few times, but I played Gradius Collection, which is a Switch 1 game. Obviously, I've played this, and I played a little bit of the Turtles Collection. And that's really about it, to be honest, right now. But I've also been really into playing the Sega Genesis, but I haven't really, to be honest with you, I don't sit there play for hours. We're talking like 15 minutes. I've been really busy with work. So it is what it is, right? And then I also want to create videos and all that kind of stuff. But I have been listening to a lot of podcasts and things like that in my car. So that's why I kind of like this concept, why I want to make it an audio only podcast as well, so that we could do it live, and then also let people listen to it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever they listen to their podcasts, and have something to listen to. I think it'll be a good time. And so yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think I need to find a fine line of how to make it work well, especially with trying to engage with the audience on YouTube too. I've seen Tech Buzz watch his podcast here recently. So we'll see. It's on my agenda of things I have to do. There's no way I'm not going to finish the game. Okay? That's how I feel about it. It's a good ad game is a game of the year. It is good. It's just I am very easily distracted. I got 2 boxes from Limited Run today. Peony from stuff I ordered last summer. Yeah, exactly. A year ago, man. A year ago. It's a Kickstarter. Oh, man. Well, I got a video coming out on Sunday, and I'm really looking forward to that video coming out. I have filmed it once. I think I'm going to film it twice, and then I'm going to see which version I'm going to put out, or if I'm going to edit it to 2. Edit the 2 together. It's a video is personal. It's important to me. It's just important to my story for gaming, and I'm looking forward to that. So expect like Sunday at 10 a.m. for me to have a video. And I'm gonna try to do that every single week. I'm gonna try to work on the video each week throughout the week so that you know, it's out there and done. And if for some reason I miss one, I miss one. But for the most part, consistency is king. So we're gonna try to do that. Zod Rider, you have anything to promote?
Well, I am in the process of finishing my movie, so I'm promoting that as always. One Punch Dan will be available for people to see very, very soon. I am so hyped up at the progress that is being made, and to be nearly at the end of this project has got me really, really hyped up. So that's what I'm doing.
Check out Brooklyn Menace.
There we go.
He does a bunch of live streams with games in the middle of the night, you know, like not to quote Billy Joel, in the middle of the night. Anyway, he's always out there streaming games. Go check him out. Is what going to be live? I beat the main game and played it about 2 hours of the after story. Wow, of this game, Rune Factory already? Cool. Yep. So I will see you all Sunday in my edited video. We'll see you next Friday. And if you want to talk, you know where to hit me up, most of you. So go ahead and do that. And